I think the most important change in my life as a result of my conversion is that I'm a lot more calm and I'm a lot more aware of the fact that a lot of what happens in my life is not up to me. I don't control as many things as I thought I did, and really most things are in God's hands. And that's been really comforting. It's been really awe-inspiring, and it's just given me really a greater sense of my standing in the world and really the relative significance of me in terms of everything and everyone in the world. And so I feel a lot more aware and a lot more at peace in a lot of ways. What's life-giving and special about my church, about St. John's Student Center, is that it's really open and welcoming to people of all different backgrounds, ages, faith backgrounds. Everyone really kind of just opens the doors and welcomes you in with open arms. When I first came in, I was not even considering doing RCIA. I really was totally fine and comfortable, not really having much of a faith background. And I didn't feel at all uncomfortable at St. John's. I didn't feel at all like I was an outsider, that I wasn't being welcomed. And immediately on one of my first times going there, I met Father Mark and just felt really at ease in his presence. And I think that made the whole process of eventually discovering that maybe I wanted to consider the church more, I think it just made it easier. And a lot of it had to do with starting everything off at St. John's. It's just a wonderful place to be. As time goes on, I hope to live out my faith in as many ways and areas of my life as I can. One of the big things that was important to me that I learned throughout RCIA is that as a teacher, I'm already really performing as a minister of God. Even though I'm not doing it within the confines and the constraints of the Catholic Church, every day when I go into work, in some ways I'm guiding my students to learning more about the world they live in and how to communicate in that world, and just kind of showing them a little bit more about who they are and who they might want to be. And so in that way, really that's a ministry. And that was something that was really I'd never thought of before, before I went through RCA and before I joined the church. So that's a big thing, and I really try as much as I can to kind of remember that and remember that that's still an integral part of my faith, when I go to work and I do that. In other areas, I really just hope to overall be a more loving, compassionate person as often as I can, to be as giving of myself, my time, my things, everything that I can possibly offer to other people, and not to be as judgmental, I think, as I was before. And just to remember that, we all come from God, we're all children of God, we're all made by God in God's image, and, really I'm just kind of one person in this big, massive world, and so it's really kind of changed my perspective, and I think I'll just always want to remember that and always want to give as much of myself as I can.